Here are a few quick tips for plein air painting in the snow. Almost more than any subject matter, you have to paint snow from life to really understand what it looks like. Photography will flatten out the colors, it'll make all the brights look just plain white, and it'll make all the darks look just dark because there's so much contrast to snow. So get outside and paint it from life to really paint it convincingly. But it's difficult. It's not the same as painting on a sunny day. And here are a couple things that you can do to make it a little bit easier. First of all, I know this kind of goes without saying, but layer up. Find the warmest clothes that you have, regardless of what they look like, and bundle up when you get out there. Try to be a little too warm when you start, and then that way you'll stay warm for the whole painting session. Fingerless gloves make a really big difference, as well as a good pair of snow boots. Also, try to stand on either bare ground that doesn't have any snow, or take a bath mat or your car mat and stand on that to create a barrier between you and the snow. That'll make a really big difference. One of the biggest problems is glare on a snowy day, and that happens even on an overcast day because snow is so reflective. So if it's sunny, be sure to set up in the shade and use an umbrella even on an overcast day, because the umbrella will cut down on the glare and make it easier for you to see the scene that you're painting and also to see your panel. Sometimes your eyes adjusting from looking at the panel in the shade out to the scene in the sun can really be a strain, so be sure to use your umbrella to help with that. You can also put a blanket or a cloth on the ground, a dark color, and that'll help prevent some of the reflection from happening around you. So you can put that down on the snow in front of you to keep the reflection from coming up into your eyes, or if you're standing with the snow reflecting off a snowbank behind you, you can put the cloth on that, and then you don't have that light coming back up onto the canvas and distracting you while you're trying to paint. The paint can get really stiff when you're outside if it's extremely cold. So one of the solutions that I've found for that is to keep my paint tubes in the inside pocket of my jacket next to my body where they can stay warm. And I'll tuck a couple of those chemical heat packs into those pockets, and then that way the paint stays a little bit more pliable. This is the one time that I'll tell you to not squeeze out a whole lot of paint. Just squeeze out as much as you need at a time, and then that way it stays warmer and doesn't get hard to move around. You might end up having to use a palette knife more than a brush on really cold days. But that can lead to some really great effects in painting, and it's a great excuse to have to learn how to manipulate a palette knife and use it effectively. Paint small studies. You know, it's better to finish an entire study and resolve an entire design in one sitting than to start something big and have to stop because you got too cold. So 6x8s, 8x10s, I think they're great practice anyway. That's really what I prefer to paint outside. But save those big paintings for later and just try to get out there and get as much information as you can before you get too cold to really concentrate on what you're doing. Take advantage of the in-between seasons. I love painting snow in late April and the first snow that happens in October or November. It's a great time to find bare ground to stand on, and I think those scenes with some of the grass showing through are a lot more interesting than just the solid snow everywhere. The great design possibilities with that. So find a sunny spot without any snow, and you might end up painting the snow in a t-shirt and let everybody think that you've really been toughing it all day. And last but definitely not least, don't forget about your canine companions. I love taking my dog with me when I go outside to plein air. She's my best painting buddy, and it's important to take care of them when you're out there in extreme conditions like this. You know, it's easy to get going with a painting and forget that they're standing there getting cold and waiting for you to hurry up and finish. So I always take a blanket with me. It's waterproof on one side and fleece on the other, and she can lay down on that and be comfortable for a couple hours. I try to keep that in the sun so she stays a little bit warmer. If your dog can tolerate wearing a jacket, that's a great idea. And snow boots, little dog booties, if you have a long-haired dog, are really important to keep the snow from compacting in on their feet. Always bring extra treats for good dogs. They will appreciate it, and you'll have a great painting partner for your entire life if you treat your dog right and play with them a little bit in the snow after you finish painting. So I hope that helps. But again, the main thing about painting snow is that you have to get outside to learn how to paint it convincingly. So bundle up and get out there and do some painting.